Missed you too.
I was starting to get worried about you. I waited all week for you to call, and when you didn't...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to worry.
You haven't told Mac, have you?
No, I haven't.
It's not going to make it any easier, even if you wait.
No, I know that.
Have you changed your mind?
No, I haven't changed my mind.
Then you're going to have to tell him.
I know. I'll tell him.
When?
Today.
Oh, then you didn't just come to check out on us, did you?
No, not really. I tell you, I wanted to ask you what you think of the feasibility of using your old presses at the complex, temporarily, of course, as soon as you get your new presses installed.
I don't know, Mac. They're in pretty bad shape, but... Yeah, I guess they'll hold up for a while. There's something I've got to tell you, though.
What's that?
I didn't order the new presses.
You haven't ordered them? Is there a problem?
No, it'll all be straightened out later today.
But if there's a problem, I'd like to know about why haven't they been ordered?
Well, Mac, I haven't received the financial limitations report yet.
Isn't that the report Jamie was supposed to make up for you?
Well, yeah, he's going to have it to me later today. Then I can go over the report and I can find out whether or not we can order the presses.
Jamie should have had that report to you long ago. What is it you're not telling me?
What's taking Sandy so long?
Don't worry, baby. He'll be here in just a minute. It takes a while to get your luggage in this airport, I guess.
We gotta get moving.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Well, I checked it out, and we're clear as far as I can tell. We're going to go outside, see if we can grab a cab and
Sandy,
try and
wait a minute. You really think we should spend our money on a cab?
I don't think he's in any shape to ride the bus. Look, Jerry, you think you can walk out of here?
Yeah, sure, I'm fine.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Sandy, where are we going?
You ever heard of Brooklyn?
And now, the continuing story of Another World.
Is Mac in? I would like to talk to him, please.
No, I'm afraid he's not right now.
Well, can you tell me when he's going to come back?
I can't say.
You can't or won't?
What?
It's all right. I'll wait for him.
Rachel?
Yes, please.
I want to ask you something.
What?
Are things okay between you and Mac?
Why?
Well, he hasn't been like himself lately.
In what way?
It isn't like Mac to give me instructions not to let you come into his office.
He actually said that?
I'm afraid so.
All right. Well, did he leave any instructions about not taking messages from me?
No, he didn't say anything about that.
Well, would you please tell him that I want to speak to him? It's very important, that I'll be at the house.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Rachel, I hope you get things ironed out. I really mean it.
Thank you, Liz.
Hey, buddy, how things going?
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Jason. What kind of an answer is that?
Something I can do for you?
Well, I just thought I'd drop in and see what's happening at the club here.
Oh, everything's fine.
Hey, lighten up. What's the matter with you?
Got a question for you.
Sure. What?
Does your company still want to put in the service here in the sporting lot?
That's the plan. Like I told you before, Mitch, it's a natural. It'll be a big moneymaker, and you can pick up a lot of bucks.
Is that how they sucked you in?
Is something wrong with that? Why shouldn't I get my fair share?
What changed you?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you always run a clean operation. It's the old supper club. You kept it clean.
I still do.
With this crowd, you're not going to keep it clean with the service.
Look, Mitch, like I told you before, this is strictly a legitimate operation. And about the company, I have no complaints. They've done very well by me so far.
And they'll probably probably continue to take care of you. As long as you are used to him.
I didn't come here to argue with you. I came over to come to some sort of agreement about the escort service.
What can I say? No. Your guys want it here? I don't. I don't think it's real likely that either one of us are going to change our minds.
You know, Mitch, we can put the service in here with or without your
Jason,
approval.
I'm aware of that.
Then why can't we just keep it friendly and just figure out how we're going to do it?
Jason, what can I say? I don't think so. I've got other plans, all right?
What other plans?
I'm planning on selling out my interests.
What do you want to do that for? Come on, Mitch, we work well together. Isn't there anything I can say that'll make you change your mind?
No. There's nothing more that can be said. So why don't you go set it up with your bosses? If your bosses want to buy me out, let them buy me out. Let's take care of it as soon as possible, all right?
You sure this is what you want to do?
Jason, I'm sure. Positive.
Get this jacket off. There you go. Okay, just sit back, man. Try and ease up.
His fever's really up. We're going to have to get a doctor for him soon.
No doctors.
Hey.
Jerry, just try to take it easy and relax, okay? Now, listen, we're safe now. We're in New York.
No, if we go to a doctor, they're gonna find us.
Listen, it's going to be all right, Jerry. I've got somebody I can call here for you, all right? Just try and stay calm. It's going to be all right. Listen, see if you can get something that'll cool him down.
Yeah, there's probably towels in the bathroom. I'll get them wet.
We gotta get moving. They're coming after
Hey,
us.
look, just take it easy, buddy. It's going to be okay, all right? Relax. Relax, man.
Jerry, this is going to help you. It's going to cool you down. You're going to feel much better, I promise you. Listen, Sandy's calling a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to speak to Dr. Albert. It's an emergency. Tell him it's Sandy Alexander.
Sorry I'm late, Philip, but I was... Hi, Mac. I didn't know you were going to be here. Are you meeting with Philip?
No, I just happened by, but I'm glad I did.
Is there a problem?
I think I should ask you that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I understand you haven't given Philip the financial report on the ledger yet.
That's right. Did he,
Asked me to talk to you? No, he didn't. I had to pull that bit of information out of him. He said you were going to be in this morning with the report.
Yes, I did tell him that.
So, have you got it?
No, I meant to do it last night, and, well, with the day I had yesterday, after seeing Mom, I, just couldn't get to it.
You saw your mom? Well, I'm glad you two are on speaking terms again.
Yeah, well, we really didn't talk about what's happened between us.
Then what?
We talked about you and Mom.
Well, this isn't really the time or the place to go into that.
But, Mac,
No, I really don't want to discuss that. Now, look, about this financial report.
Yeah.
Philip must have it by the beginning of the week. Otherwise, you must turn it over to somebody who can get ready by then.
Of course, and I promise I'll have it to Philip first thing Monday morning.
Fine.
Is there anything else?
Are you all right? Is there anything I...
No, nothing's the matter. I'm just a little tired, that's all.
It's more than that, Jamie.
No, I promise I'll have that report on Philip's desk first thing Monday morning.
It's not the report. I'm worried about you.
Why are you so worried about me?
How can you ask me that? I'm watching you fall to pieces right before my eyes, and you won't let anyone, not me, not
Look,
Cecile,
I don't
not
need any
anyone,
help.
do anything. I'm not sure you...
I can handle it.
I'm not sure you can anymore.
If everyone would just leave me alone, maybe.
Jamie, my main...
Has Rick Halloway said anything to you?
Rick Halloway? What are you talking about?
Nothing. Mac, are you going to talk to Mom today?
I don't know.
I wish you would.
Jamie, what's happening between your mother and me is nothing that you should be...
Troubling myself with? Yeah, Mac. Maybe you're right. I mean, why should it matter that my family, the only family that I've ever known, is falling apart? That you and Mom and you won't even talk to each other, Mac. I mean, neither of you will do a thing about Mitch Blake.
Jamie did.
Oh, it's you.
You expecting somebody else?
Yeah, I thought it might be Mac.
Sit down, Rachel. Have you talked to Mac?
I went over to the complex today to talk to him, and he wasn't there, and so I told him to come over here when he gets in.
Why haven't you talked to him before this?
It's just very difficult. I've had to think it through carefully. I just don't want to hurt him.
Hurt him? What do you think you're doing now?
I just want it to be easy for him.
That's not possible.
Do you hate me for what I've done?
Hate you? How could I hate you? I love you. I don't always agree with you, especially now, but that doesn't mean I love you any less. Please, please think more about what you're doing. Remember what your life was like before you married Mac. He gave your life structure and stability. He gave you everything. He taught you everything. He taught you about living. He taught you how to love. Oh, Rachel. He loves you so.
Mom, if he loved me so much, he wouldn't keep threatening to take Amanda away from me. And now the way I feel about Mitch, I just can't stay with him, Mom. I can't stay with Mac. It wouldn't be fair to Mac.
This decision won't be easy for you to live with.
I know that. Everybody's going to side with Mac in this.
Do you think you can handle it?
I think I can. With Mitch's support, I think I can.
This is what we're prepared to offer you for your share of the business.
It's less than half of what I paid per share.
Sorry. It's as high as we can go.
Well, I'm afraid we have nothing to talk about.
What are you going to do, Mitch?
I reject. I'll hold on to the shares.
That's your decision?
That's my decision.
You sure, Mitch?
Jason, I'm as sure as I get. Thank you.
But of course, Cory Publishing is not really in the construction business now.
No, sir, it isn't.
Well, Mr. Frame, as I mentioned to you on the phone yesterday, Oregon Shipping Corporation, which I represent, has investments up and down the West Coast, but we don't currently have anything in this area. And we are looking forward to expanding our operations eastward.
Yes, I remember that conversation very well.
The Cory project may just be something we could be interested in. Of course, I'll have to discuss it with my people, but providing the price is right.
Well, I'm sure our lawyers will work something out.
I'm sure they can. Then let's assume, if we can come to terms, that we have a deal.
Great.
I'm sure we'll be talking soon, Mr. Frame.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
It went very well.
Yes, it did, didn't it?
Looks like the company finally controls the docks.
Oh, Liz, I can't find anybody around here today. Would you please do me a favor?
Sure, what do you want?
I need 8 copies made of this, please.
Oh, I'll be glad to do that for you.
Thanks. Boy, it's crazy around here today. Well, isn't Mac in?
No, he's over at the Daily Ledger.
The Ledger? What for?
I want to talk to Philip about something.
Do you know what?
Well, it's about using those old presses here at the complex.
Oh. Do you know if he's going to come in later?
I don't know. I hope he gets back soon. I've got a stack of messages here, including one from Rachel.
Rachel?
Yep. She stopped by to see him this morning.
Have they been able to settle their differences?
I don't know. Mac doesn't talk to me, but I do know he's staying at the Bayview Tower. I just wish they'd get back together so Mac would start acting like himself again.
What do you mean about that?
Well, you know, he gave me instructions not to allow Rachel into his office, and now this.
Well, what's that?
Well, I came in this morning. There was a note from Mac that he'd been to the bank after hours the other night, and his bank receipt is attached to it.
Well, what's so strange about that?
Well, I mean, it's $2,000 and it's for Sandy Alexander.
What would Mac want to give $2,000 to Sandy Alexander for?
I don't know.
Sandy, how do you know this doctor?
Well, I know about him from someone else, from way back.
No.
Jerry?
No.
Whoa, Jerry.
No.
Take it easy. It's okay. Sorry. You know him from Las Vegas?
Yeah, that's right. I know him from Vegas, but it's such a stretch. Yeah, who is it?
Dr. Allen, are you Sandy Alexander?
Come on in, Doc.
I was held up at my office.
Hey, it's no problem. We appreciate you making it.
Got the young man?
Yeah, and he's pretty sick.
But you didn't say anything about his being injured.
Well, he isn't injured exactly. He had surgery about 4 weeks ago.
What kind of surgery?
He had his spleen removed.
His spleen? He shouldn't be moving around like that. When did this fever start?
About 3 or 4 days ago. It's been getting worse, though.
I don't wonder he should have seen a doctor when it first started. He could be in pretty serious condition.
Is he going to be all right, Doctor?
It's not as serious as it looks. He does have an infection, but I gave him an injection of a different type of antibiotic which should reduce the fever and the infection. I also gave him a sedative so he'll sleep. It's important that he get his rest.
Well, is there anything else we can do for him?
Give him one of these every 4 hours. When you run out, you have this filled. Make sure he doesn't miss any doses. He has to take all the pills. And then I'd like to see him at my office on Thursday. By then, his infection should nearly be gone. I also want to check his arm, maybe put a lighter cast on him.
What about his eye? It looks so bad.
I put some medication in it and covered it. Keep it covered for at least a week. Change the bandages every day or so and use the drops that I left by the bed.
Okay. He's going to be all right then, isn't he?
Yes, in a few days. But I wouldn't have him move around very much till then.
Right. Yes.
Thanks, Doc. Really appreciate it.
Don't forget Thursday at my office.
Right. Feeling better now, babe?
Yeah, a lot better. I'm just very relieved he's going to be okay. A few days, we start moving again.
Yeah.
Sandy, what's the matter?
Nothing, babe.
Yeah, there is. Come on, will you please tell me what it is?
As soon as he can move, we got to get out of here.
Hello, Liz.
Oh.
How are you? How's my favorite wife, huh?
Jamie, you certainly are in a good mood today.
Well, I think I have reason to be.
I haven't seen you really smile like that. It must be good news.
I hope it is. I hope
Well,
so.
what is it? This dock project?
Sure is. I think we have a buyer for it.
Oh, that's marvelous.
I
Mac
know.
will be so pleased.
I hope so. Is he in?
No, but he should be back soon.
Oh, would you tell him that I have to see him as soon as he gets in?
Yes, of course.
I'll be
I
down
will.
in legal, okay? Bye, honey.
Bye. Oh, Jane.
What?
Liz just asked me about this, and I didn't know quite what to tell her.
What is it?
It's a voucher.
What about it?
Well, it says that Mac has given Sandy Alexander $2,000 in cash earlier this week.
And the funny thing about it is Sandy hasn't been into work since that money was given out.
Why would Mac give Sandy $2,000?
Well, I'm sure he has his reasons.
But, Jamie, you know, that's an awful lot of money.
Look, I don't know why he did it, but I suggest you ask him. I don't know. Liz, don't forget to give Mac that message.
I won't.
Did you know that Rachel came in here to talk to Mac today?
She did.
Yes, your mother left a message for Mac that he should come over and see her at the house as soon as he got here.
Oh.
Something wrong?
No. Liz, I've got to go out. I've got to see someone right away.
Who?
Mitch Blaine.
Ilsa, darling, this is Don Albert.
Dr. Albert, I do hope there isn't going to be a problem with your payment again this month. I mean, it would be such a shame if your wife were to hear some sordid stories about you, now wouldn't it?
I think I have something far more valuable to you than money, Ilsa.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
In fact, I have some information that might just cancel our little arrangement altogether.
That would have to be very valuable information indeed to do that, Doctor.
Does the name Sandy Alexander mean anything to you?
What about him?
The last time I was in Vegas, it was all over town that one of your boys had run out on you. Your favorite, I believe. And his name was Sandy, wasn't it?
Yes. What about Sandy?
Well, if we can come to some kind of agreement, I'll tell you where you can find him.
Hello, Jamie.
I want to talk to you.
Only talk?
What's that supposed to mean?
The last time we saw each other, we ended up doing a little more than talking.
Yeah, well, I don't want to fight with you, if that's what you mean.
Then what is it you want?
I'm going to try to reason with you.
Anything specific?
You know what I'm talking about.
Why don't you tell me?
My mother.
What about her?
She's going today to tell Mac that their marriage is over. That she's going to leave him. For you.
And you have trouble with that, right?
Don't you see what you're doing? Don't you see what you're doing to my mother's life?
Look, Jamie, forgive me if I can't appreciate your overprotective concern. But I think it's time that she make her own decision.
With no pressure from you.
I love her. And she knows that. Now, if that's pressure, I'm pressuring her.
You see how you're tearing our family apart? I mean, not only Mac and Mom, but Amanda.
And you?
I don't have anything to do with this.
Don't you?
What are you getting at?
Well, I just wonder sometimes, at least from where I see it, if it might be that you're more concerned about yourself than your mother, Mac.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I don't think you want to get left out in the cold. I mean, you're there at Cory Publishing Company. Something happens with your mother, Mac. I mean, you know, your job as heir apparent might not be so secure.
That's ridiculous.
It might be. It's just a question, a possibility. It makes sense to me.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me, but nothing makes sense to me anymore. And I can see that talking to you isn't going to do any good. So I guess the only thing left for me to do is try to get to Mom before she gets to Mac.
Jamie, don't do that.
I have to.
You're going to go over there now?
That's right.
You can't let her make a decision on her own?
Look, thank you for the advice, but I think I'm going to have to try to tell her what she should do.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to join you.
Well, suit yourself. I suppose this could be quite interesting.
Hello, Rachel.
Thank you for coming over.
Well, Liz gave me your message.
Can I get you something?
No, thanks. Fine.
Sit down.
It's finished between us, isn't it?
I'm sorry, Mac.
You loved him all along, even long before St. Croix, didn't you?
No, that's not true.
You know, Rachel, I've been alone lately, and I've had a lot of time to think, and I've come to realize some things.
What?
Well, I never really meant all that much to you anyway, did I?
Mac, you meant everything to me.
No. Just as you put what you wanted for Matthew before what I wanted for him, your first concern has always been the children. They always took precedence.
That's not true, Mac.
Yeah, from Jamie and then Amanda and then Matthew. They've always been your focal point.
I think that's natural for a mother.
But a mother is first a wife and a lover. You made your first commitment to me. And I needed to know that you needed me more than any other person living, just as I needed you. After all, children grow up, they grow away, but I was for you. Till death do us part. Well, anyway, I guess that I'm as guilty as you of self-deception. Just as you fooled yourself about how much you really care for Mitch, I fooled myself about how much you really loved me.
Mac, I've loved you with every ounce of my being. I'll always care for you. I always will.
Yeah. Well, it's over now, isn't it?
Well, what happens now?
All those years, loving and caring, out the window. I'll go see Brian, try to get him to speed up the divorce.
You can see the children whenever you want to.
Rachel, you know that I'm not going to be satisfied with just visitation times with Amanda, don't you?
What do you want?
She's my daughter. I want custody. And if I have to fight you to get it, I will.
Sandy, what did you mean before when you said we'd have to get out of here?
It's something we're going to have to think about as soon as Jerry is able to move.
Why? You said it was safe here.
It was, but now someone knows where we are.
You mean the doctor? You told me, you said that he wasn't going to cause any trouble.
I know what I said, Blaine. But if I've learned anything, it's that you can't trust anyone.
Sound like you know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Sandy, you told me on the plane you were running from something. Please, tell me exactly what you were running from.
Well, it's really not very different from the situation you were in with Jordan. And it's just as dangerous. Tell me something, Blaine. How much do you care for Jerry?
A lot, I guess. We were married once. When you break up, I guess unless it gets really ugly, you still continue to care for each other.
And that's all there is to it?
I don't know.
What about Joey? Do you love her?
I don't know. All that's happened the last couple of weeks, I don't know how I feel about anything anymore.
Yeah, well, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
What do you mean?
People like us, Blaine, we only end up hurting the people we care about.
You sound like you're speaking first-hand experience.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Then you think that Jerry is still in danger?
I do, as long as he's with you. I know that may sound cruel, Blaine, but you and I, see, we're survivors. We have something to bargain with, what we know.
But the people we care for?
They're expendable. Totally. Believe me, I know from experience.
Do you want to tell me about it?
When I was in Vegas, I fell in love with one of Ilsa's clients, a senator's wife. She had 2 kids in college. She was accompanying her husband on a conference trip or something, and I was set up with her, you know. I don't know, but I really liked her, and she liked me. And I don't know what we were thinking about, but for me it was very real. I loved her very much.
Loved?
One day, Ilsa called me into her office and showed me some photographs of the 2 of us making love. I swear, Blaine, I really had no idea she was going to do something like that, you know? She wanted me to take them to Anne and demand money.
Blackmail?
I said no. I called Anne and tried to arrange a meeting. I don't know what I was thinking, you know. I guess I had some romantic notion of the 2 of us running away together or something, but, well, I never got that far. 2 of Ilsa's thugs caught up with me and put me in the hospital for a couple of weeks. When I got out, Melissa told me that Anne was dead.
Dead?
Well, they said it was suicide, but since then, I have never allowed myself to get close to anyone Because I never want to hurt anyone like that again. Anne gave this to me. And every moment that I wear it is a constant reminder that people like us, you and me, Blaine, are death to the people we love.
Ilsa, it's nice to hear from you.
I may have some pleasant news for you, Jordan.
Is that so?
Yes. I understand your favorite lady is missing and that you'd like to have her back.
You know something?
I know where she is.
Where?
Oh, slowly, darling. In return for her whereabouts, I would like a favor.
Name it.
It seems your little friend is not only in the company of her ex-husband, but also with someone I've been looking for as well, for a long, long time. Sandy Alexander.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
Good. Well, then, darling, you won't have any trouble picking up all three of them.
No trouble at all.
Oh, there's just one more important thing before I tell you where they are.
I'm listening.
I don't want Sandy hurt. At least, not until I get from him something I've been missing.
No problem, Ilsa.
Good. Well, then, darling, you can pick up your pencil, and I'll tell you where and when to get them.
You really going to fight me for custody of Amanda?
Well, I'm certainly not going to sit by while you walk off into the sunset with Blake holding hands with my child.
She's my child, too, Mac.
Well, then I guess we'll just have to let the courts decide, won't we? I don't know why this should come as a surprise to you. I told you a couple of weeks ago. You don't really think I'm going to let somebody take the wife that I idolize and the child I adore away from me without a fight, do you?
Mitch said that you would make this difficult.
Don't quote your lover's criticisms of me. Why should I give up the one child I probably ever have in my life? I think the courts will find I have a very good case.
Oh, and what does that mean?
That means I'm a valued member of this community. That means people trust me. They respect me. And I've got enough money to provide for Amanda's future. So I don't think the courts are going to have any trouble at all deciding that I'm best fitted to provide for her well-being.
I can't believe you saying this to me.
Now, you know how I feel when you said I couldn't raise Matthew?
Mitch is Matthew's natural father.
And I am Amanda's natural father.
There is nothing I can do to convince you not to do this.
Yes, there is. One thing only. You never see Mitch Blake again. He goes out of our life now and forever. Then maybe our marriage would have a little chance again. But I warn you, even if we reconcile, it's going to be that way. On those terms, my terms, and no other way. You've had your way long enough in this marriage.
Are you all right?
Please, don't do this.
Well, what's your answer, Rachel?
I can't do what you're asking. I'm going with Mitch.
You understand that means you lose Amanda in the process?
There is absolutely no court in this world and all the money in the world that could prove I'm not a fit mother. I love my children. That is obvious.
You and Jamie haven't spoken for weeks because you didn't happen to approve of his choice for a wife. I'm not so sure that that's obviously love.
No, Mac, that's not true. Now, I know Mom's reaction was because she loved me, not because she wanted to hurt me.
If you love somebody, you trust them to make the right choices.
Do you love Rachel?
I think my actions have always proved that.
Well, as you said, if you love someone, you trust them to make the right choice. You've allowed Rachel to make no choices. You have continued to make threat after threat to keep her as your wife.
All right. I guess I have to let her make the choice then, don't I? Did you sleep with Mitch? up in our cabin.
Is that part of your business?
It's very much a part of my business. This is my wife that you have been talking about. You want her to make the choice? I'm asking her what is the choice. Did you make love to him?
Yes, I did.
Mom, don't let him go. Go after him. You can't let this happen.
I'm sorry, Jamie, I can't do that.
But you have to. It's the only way you're going to save your marriage.
Jamie, at this point, the marriage is not worth saving.
Was I talking to you?
Jamie, listen to me. That's the way it is, or can't you understand?
No, I can't. All I can see is that my mother and father are walking away from each other, and no one's doing a thing to stop them.
I'm terribly sorry, Jamie. You're just going to have to understand.
No, I can't understand. Why are you letting this happen, Mom?
Because he's forced me, Jamie, and now I love Mitch, just the way you love Cecile.
No, this is different.
I don't see how it's any different.
When I married Cecile, I didn't break up an entire family in the process.
It's going to be all right. It's
No, it
going
isn't.
to be all right. We've got each other. We'll make it.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.